So my name is Matt Scolieri. I'm a freshman mechanical engineering student here at Robert Morris. I'm going to tell you guys why give and how to research philanthropic causes. So many causes today vie for everyone's attention. They give startling statistics, or they try and move you to action through emotional response. And a little bit of research can actually go a long way in finding out what is an effective way and who to invest in or donate your money to. So first, let's just talk about giving. Many Americans give each year. We can get to the next one, actually. So here's some statistics. In 2006, 61.2 million adults who are 16 and older volunteered in the US. And also, in 2008, Americans donated over $307 billion to charitable organizations. Many people give for numerous reasons, but there are two types of giving. We can go to the next slide. There's public giving and private giving. These are from Liz Vesterlund, and she's actually a professor of economics at the University of Pittsburgh. So public giving is when the donor gives with the intention of feeling good themselves about giving, but also giving something to the other person. And private giving, actually kind of selfish. You give just for yourself. So either you're going to get public recognition from other people, or you're just doing it because you feel like you have to do your part in society. After deciding to donate, benefactors need to know a couple things. So we're going to talk about a couple things. For example, like, what does the organization do? How's the organization operate? And these couple things can be under operating efficiency, how much it is growing, and also what does the organization do that sets it apart from other organizations. So we can go to the next slide. We're going to have to pick a category first. So picking a category is just like any other business or whatever. You have different sectors and stuff. But me personally, I want to pick something that was close to my heart. So I picked the sector of helping children with cancer. So I looked under hospitals that gave pediatric cancer treatment to children, and I came across St. Jude Research Hospital. And how I came across this was going to the next step. I narrowed down my choices. There are multiple sites, but I chose three here that are very good. It's charitynavigator.org, Charity Choices in the Better Business Bureau. They're all very good sites, and they also help to look at all of the sites, because you get diversified information from all of these sites, and it's very good to do that. And then another thing that many people don't really look at is look at the actual site. I went to St. Jude's site and it looked very professional. There were lots of statistics there for the site, and it was not just based on feeling. And that's something that I warn a lot of people. If you're going based strictly on feeling, it sounds real great, but there's not a lot of concrete evidence behind why to donate to this organization. Go ahead to the next slide. So we're going to compare each of these charities based on some of these criteria. There's operating efficiency, financial transparency, growth, watchdog ratings, tax-exempt status, personal research, history, ways to donate, and what sets the organization apart. So I'm going to show you guys a pie chart comparing a couple of the things. You're going to see things like administrative costs, fundraising expenses, and program costs. If you look here, it says 75% of the revenue that goes to programs is good. You want even more than that for a charity, and you want less than 25% going to fundraising and administrative costs. So this is Susan G. Komen for The Cure. You see program costs is 82% of their total income, and then the other ones are way less than 25%, which this would be a good one to invest in. Go to the next slide. Okay, so this is really a touchy topic for a lot of people, but you look at the CEO. Some people, $684,000 for a nonprofit. Some people get kind of like, wow, my donated money is going to that. But you need to think about it in this sense. These companies, or I call them companies, but these organizations are worth multiple millions of dollars. And you need to find someone who's worth it that's going to help the organization grow. The caveat that Charity Navigator said was if the organization is healthy and financially growing and they have a good leader, then it might be worth the money to pay it, because it's better to invest in someone that's paying $600 and some thousand a year than a charity that is going down and that's losing money, who's paying their CEO $100,000 a year. We can get to the next slide. So we're going to look at financial transparency now. Organizations that are good, they show you what they're doing with their money. They're not hiding anything. And that's what we want to look for. And you can look at the IRS 990 form. Get to the next slide. Also, growth. You want to evaluate the growth on multiple things. There's the financial growth, and then there's also the program level growth. Those are really big words, but the financial growth, you just want to see that revenue is growing through the years. You want to see if more employees are being hired, and you also want to see that, let me just show it to you. Go ahead. This is what not to look for. I love Florida, but I'm going to rip on South Wildlife Florida Foundation. Their program expenses are humongous compared to how much money they're making. And that's not a charity that you want to invest in. But on the other hand, we can check out this charity. They're making money, and they're not spending as much as they're making, which is really good. It's really simple, but it's hard to do. And this is actually St. Jude's. So we can get to the next slide. This is an IRS 990 form, and I just took a snapshot of how many employees, as you can see. In 2010, St. Jude Children's Hospital had 4,056 employees. And in 2011, they had 4,134 employees. Growth in programs, this is pretty simple. Are they hosting more things? Are they doing more things to make money? Are they being more involved in their community? Watchdog ratings. Each of these watchdog groups rate differently. The Better Business Bureau, they have a thing called 20 accountability standards, which is their personal thing. And virtually all of these charities rate basically on the same thing. Are they good with their money? Are they doing the right thing? Charity Navigator actually has a 4-star scale. They base it off of the financial status of the organization, and also they base it off of transparency, just like we talked about before. Charity Choice's 10 accountability standards, that's the same thing, and we'll get to a little bit more of these things later on in the presentation. So tax-exempt status, you guys can actually perk up for this. 501Cs are nonprofits. This means that they do not have to pay certain federal taxes in the government, and a lot of people want to be a 501c. But the really big one is the 501c3. All charities on Charity Navigator and Charity Choices are 501c3, and if you want to check, you can go to the Better Business Bureau, and they have a tax status page. 501c3s offer tax deductibles to donors, so if you donate money to them, you can get that as a tax write-off. Personal research, pretty simple. Ask around family and friends and see if they have donated, what has their experience been, and how they like the organization. The history. History of an organization is very important. St. Jude has been around for 50 years, and they continue to grow. They're building more hospitals and branching out and such. Ways to donate. Whenever you tell someone, hey, help out this charity, it's really great, you're going to say, well, what do I do? And some charities are really good, giving you multiple ways to, not invest, but donate. You can run in a race, you can donate your money, you can donate your time. Some charities, they only accept money, and sometimes some people are short on money and they want to be able to give time. An alternative form of donation is actually gift shops. Look under the gift shops. St. Jude's gift shop, actually, if you go on, you buy things, all of the profits go to research, which that's good and helps the cause and you get something in return. I think the most important thing, though, is what sets the organization apart. And you need to know this based on how the organization operates, like we talked about that before. But whenever, for example, St. Jude, I keep using them, but I really like them. St. Jude, they do pediatric cancer research. They also give pediatric cancer care. No patient ever pays any money for their cancer treatment, which treatment options can be upwards of $18,000 a year. So parents don't have to worry about that. Also, they raised the cancer survival rate as a whole. In 1962, it was 20%, and today it is 80% survival rate. So those are the reasons I invested in St. Jude Children's Hospital. But whenever you guys look at your charity and someone asks you why you invested in it, this is what you're going to tell them, those couple facts. If you get to the next slide. So going through this process, you found that the right charity, hopefully, that you can invest in. Make an informed decision by knowing what the organization does, how they operate, how to donate, and what sets the organization apart. Pick the most effective method of donation, and go make the world a better place. Thank you for your time. Are there any questions?